Two. Going live. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Make it public. Make it public. Make it public.
Connected to virus alert scanner and virus alert scanner 2.
Be friends, oh no. Love and hate can never be friends, oh no. Oh no. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow.
Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, here I come.
No one,
boom.
No wish to be with no evil man.
Yes. Love and hate can never be friends. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Oh. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yes, I. Oh.
My head is anointed, and my cup runneth over. Yeah.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Oh yes. Let me stop. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me Luca Boy. That's going all the way back to the 767 La Point Michel, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. How you doing tonight? I am so excited, man. I got a very special guest for tonight. I am so excited. I hope you guys are doing well. I am doing so good. Are you excited this week? Are you having a great week? What are you doing so far this week to make it a great week? We have a great program tonight for you. If you were going to miss a program, you should have missed last week. I was talking about credit. You should have missed that. Okay? But you decided to be there last week. You got to be there this week because this is going to be way better than credit. Because basically, when after you get this, you know, credit could affect it, but I don't want to give you too much information right now. But I have a very special guest this evening. Very, very special guest. And but before she comes in, you know, and before I play my theme song, let's just take a look at the markets, see what markets did today. For those of you who got all your millions and billions of dollars in the stock market, let's see what happened today. What's going on financial markets? Let's see. Let's take a quick look. So welcome to those of you. I'll give you a shout out in a minute. Welcome to everybody. Ooh, ay. You lost some money. It's all red. You see it? The Dow Jones was down 56.88. The NASDAQ was 77.37. S&P 1895. Well, you know what? My clients sleep like this. You know why? Because zero is the hero. They never, ever, ever lose a penny. I hope you're doing well tonight. Welcome to the show. Let me see who's on the show so far so I can give a quick shout out. Let's take a quick look. There's some people already here. Let me just say a quick hello to those I can see. I can see Miss Delphina Libla, Point Michel's own. Welcome. I can see Miss Mozana Massicot, Jabez, welcome. Peach Goodwill, Jamaica, welcome. Who else is watching? Whoever else is watching, I can't see you. For all those who are on, put something in the chat so I can give you a shout out. And tonight we have a special program for you. And a lot of you, especially if you're a mother, you got to tune in. And if you're tuning in and your girlfriend is a mother and she's not there, you need to throw a rock at her window, send a text, call, something, and say you need to be on there because you're a mother. You're a mother. You're a mother. So come on into the room. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're having a great week. For those of you who don't know, I injured my foot. I think I have a broken toe. It might be fractured or broken, so it's killing me, but I'm managing, I'm walking. To be honest, I'm just watching it. I'm like, it was painful yesterday. I couldn't walk. And then later in the afternoon, I started walking a little bit. And so I can't do health is wealth doing my walks. So by God's grace, my toe will get better. I'll be able to wear a shoe because I have some appointments next week that I have to go to. So I gotta get better. If I gotta go into slippers, I'm going. Miss Matthew, Bowie Queen, Saka Fed, and all the others who are watching tonight, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm so excited about my show tonight. And you guys, first of all, some of you have been watching me for a while. Okay, some of you have been watching for years, and some of you have made some strides. You decided to get some IULs. Some of you have decided to get some annuities. Some of you have decided to get out of debt. And some of you have been listening to me, and I'm so very proud of you. And I can't make you do anything. It's your choice. It's your choice. And I'm excited. For those of you, you can't be watching Tuesdays with Terrence for years and you don't do anything. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And you know what? I want to thank all those who watch, all those who like and share, all those who don't watch, all those who don't like and share. God bless you all. But what I do know is simply this. You don't have to be a star to be on my show. You don't have to have 1 million to be on my show. So let's play our theme song just before we start. Boom. Good night, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm so excited. I got a special guest. Her name is Venus, not Venus Williams, because she's better than Venus Williams. Woo! Boom!
Family, come as you are with just your heart, and I'll help you win. Are you rejected or hurt? To me, you're worth much more than you put in.
I don't need no superstars. I don't.
Now I don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You don't have to be rich family to be on my show. You don't have to have 1 million family to be on my show.
Boom. The song says you don't have to be rich. You don't have to have 1 million to be on my show. And I'm so excited about that because I keep trying to tell people, and welcome to Veronica. Good to see you tonight. Petra, Sakafet, Dudu, Jean, Guatas, and all the others who are watching tonight. Welcome. I'm so excited. I got to give my Dominican people some props because some of them are not even in this country. I can't even help them. Okay. Actually, I was talking to a childhood friend the other day, and they told me if I was in America, I would be calling you. And they actually have done some stuff in their country based on what? They religiously watch my show. Let me tell you something, folks. I don't take it for granted. And some of you need to like and share because you may not be in the continental United States, but you got family and friends who needs to know about what I talk about. So I want to thank all of you, everybody over the years who supported me. Like my mother used to say, every cat and dog. It's not a diss, it's a compliment. Everyone who supported me, I thank you. Anybody who's liked and shared, I thank you. Anybody who's been there, I thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you. Tuesdays with Terrence is my brand. Kamem is my brand. Everybody who knows me called. I have one friend. They have me in their phone as Mr. Kamem. And Kamem just simply means in Creole or Patois, in the dialect. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's all it means. So I like that. So Tuesdays with Terrence, tonight, I think I'm going to give out a couple of t-shirts to some people who have been supporting the show religiously. I really, really appreciate you as you extend my brand. You see, I am the marketing guy. I am the DJ. I am the CEO. I am the janitor. I am the cameraman. I am the mic man. I am the everything. But you guys are the ones who fuel the show by watching and liking and sharing. So I want to thank each and every one of you for watching and liking and sharing my content. Let me tell you something. The song says, "Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life." Let me tell you something. I love what I do. As you can see, I'm real passionate tonight, right? Nobody can steal my joy, and nobody's going to take it from me. Nobody. Not the devil. Nobody. I thank God for this epiphany, and I thank you for the last 3 years and all the other years. I work hard. As an entrepreneur, there are times I'm down, and there are times I get great motivational texts from people. Every Tuesday, I get one before my show to get me up. And that's why you see me always so hyper, because you never know. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you may have seen, my strengths and my weaknesses, my red flags and my green flags. I smile to hide the tears. We all go through it. We all go through it. Oh my gosh, man, look at this. It says, "I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Bardui. I live in Canada, but the knowledge that I've gained from you is invaluable. Got a few things done with my advisor. I highly recommend you to anyone. If I lived in the US, I would definitely make that call to to Bardui Financial Services. Thanks a million. Great job." And that's a childhood friend. And I want to thank them so much. I haven't seen them in over 46 years. All right. I haven't seen them, but they watch my show and they support me. And I thank you. And for all those who watch and like and share, I thank you. There's some people watching. I hope on, tonight, Bardui Financial Services on YouTube, Mr. Brinsley Charles, my buddy, we're planning a three-man convention. My two buddies, spearheaded by the great Goff Joseph from Dominica, the first Dominican to play in the NBA, my good buddy. So we're going to get together. Maybe he's watching too. I don't know. I think maybe Veronica is watching all the way, Miss Thomas watching all the way in Jersey. I hope so. But for everybody who may be watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, my business page, my personal page, I thank you. Now, enough of the preliminaries. I'm wasting time. We got to get my guest started. I've been on for 15 minutes rambling, but I'm so excited tonight, as you guys can see. So if you're a mother, you got to be on tonight. If you have family and friends in the continental United States, you got to be on. And that's, if you've never shared any of my shows in the past, you got to share this one. You got to share this one, because I have some appointments next week, and those people need to understand the importance of the subject tonight. So let me put it up. Let me go to the banners right now as I'm about to introduce my guest. Now, my guest is a business partner. We both, as you can see, American Classic Agency, the billion-dollar company that cares. We're both with American Classic Agency. I don't want to tell you too much about her. She's going to tell you a little bit about it. But what I'm going to do is I want to play a song for her as I bring her up. And I love this song as well. Most of you know it. I can't play too much of it because, Facebook, they be blocking stuff. So let's see. Let me try to bring her on right now. Let me try to bring her on right now. I'm gonna ask her to on, let me exit solo. We try to bring her on and tell her to unmute her mic. Look at how beautiful she is, my business partner. Check her out. Check her out. Check her out. There she is. She's smiling. I think she's blushing, everybody. But let's play some music for her. Here we go. Venus Senior, unmute your mic. Yes, let me unmute you. Yes, 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 yes. She was born strong. Here she comes.
I was born strong. I was made for this.
She was made for this.
See, I met so many hard times when I thought I couldn't make it.
She saw so many hard things. She thought she
I
would
had
make it.
my trials when my pillow dried my eyes. Then the morning came and my wings took flight.
She's rising tonight. Oh, come on, Venus. Rise.
See, I'm hurting but not
She's
broken.
hurt but not broken.
Down but I won't die.
Can you rise? Can you rise? Can you rise? Are you
Yes,
doing, lady?
right.
How are you tonight?
I am well. I am well. How are you?
Make sure your volume is on loud. I'm going to make sure mine's on loud as well, so everybody can hear you. How you doing, partner?
I am doing well, H. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Now listen. Now you're on Tuesdays with Terrence, so you must be a big shot. Let me tell you, I met this girl. She's been with us for a while, but we had a meeting up in Maryland, right? I think it was the same weekend. We also had a WWW, and she'll tell you what that means in a minute. But I saw her standing in the corner when she came in to register, and she had a mean old face, looking like a mean old mug. I'm like, look at that woman. She's all mean. But then I realized she's not mean. She's a sweetheart. Actually, I just made that story up. It's not true. She's not mean. I just made that up. But Venus, I'm so excited that you're on the show tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about what are ABRs, whatever an ABR is, you're going to tell us tonight. But before we do that, there's a couple of things I want you to tell us. First of all, I want you to tell us, where you're currently located, where you're from, a little bit of your background. If you want to talk about a little bit about your family, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to tell us about that so people can know a little bit about you before we start our show tonight. Because I'm so excited. The floor is yours, partner. Tell us a little bit of who Venus is.
Thank you. Well,
ahead,
I'm
Venus.
so excited too, and I just want to say thank you so much for having me on Tuesdays with Terrence. Don't take it lightly. So very, very grateful and thankful. So a little bit about Venus. Who is Venus? So I was born and raised in the DMV area. I am a financial professional.
When you say the DMV, what's that? Well, some people may not know they're different countries.
Oh, okay. DMV is DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Okay.
I actually reside in Maryland. So born and raised in Maryland. And just here in the DMV area. So a little bit about me. I am a licensed professional. Been in the industry for quite a bit now, since about 2017. I also am a patient and provider advocate. I've been in healthcare for over 26 years. And also, I am now known as the ABR Queen. And finally, I am also the founder of a nonprofit called Money for Medical Bills.
Wow. Oh, my God. I mean, you're so important. I don't know if I'll be able to deal with you tonight. You got all these titles. And check this out. I want to make it very clear. You got to give Jack, my mother used to say this when she was alive, give Jack his jacket. I made her the ABR Queen. And I'm going to get you a gift that says ABR Queen. Like Douglas have the cash value king.
Yeah.
You know? I have Tuesdays with Terrence, Kamem, Jean Lapointe, Bardoui Financial Services, where we're going to get you the ABR queen. So people's going to ask you, what's an ABR? So just before we start with the ABRs, I got to give a shout out to one of my boys. He's watching, Brinsley Charles. Yes, sir, Brinsley in the house. Keep up. He says, keep up what you do, always in tune and very informative. That's my boy. I haven't seen him in probably 17 years, I think, or more. And the funny thing is, he lives in the state next door. We pass each other all the time. So we are planning a men's weekend. I don't know when that is. Our buddy, Mr. Garth Joseph, the first Dominican to play in the NBA, my good buddy in New York. He's working tonight. I don't know if he's watching. I doubt it. We're planning a little soiree. And you know how you guys have girls trip, and I don't do guys trip. But the funny thing is, we don't get together, and we want to sustain the brotherhood. And Garth is the one who's keeping it together. So I'm glad to see Brinsley on. I want to say good evening to Miss Beverly Blaze Allen, Saka Fett, Connie Barry. Oh my gosh, Barbara Connie Barry from Trafalgar, Wincy Choice Spot. Oh, and Lenore Wallace, man. People are tuning in from all over the Commonwealth of Dominica, my home country and hometown. I'm so excited to see everybody. So listen, man, you have people watching tonight, young lady, from the Caribbean, like in St. Martin. You have people watching in Antigua, people watching in Dominica, people watching Canada. Usually people might be in Mexico. I have a buddy in Mexico usually watch. People in America, you have people in England. Sometimes my cousins and friends watch. So you're an international star tonight. So the first thing we're going to start, before we start with ABRs, there is something called WWW. And because Mother's Day is coming up, if women lives in the DMV, we just said the DMV stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. If you live in the DMV, what is WWW? And I've actually sponsored someone this year for WWW, one of our colleagues. So what is WWW? Can you tell us a little bit about that and what you do?
Absolutely. So WWW is actually Woman, Wealth, and Wellness. And what we do is we put on this amazing event in the DMV, and it's actually going around all the states now. And what we do is we educate women. We educate women on where they are in their finances. We educate them on mental health. We just share a wealth of knowledge with them to get them to start thinking about their retirements. We're just an amazing organization, and we partner together with ACA just to give back to the community and the community of women. We know how, moms pretty much, we are a lot of times the backbone, not to say that, dads are not. But moms are really in the trenches a lot of times, and we just want to make sure that they are prepared. So we share free information with them to help them to either do better and where they are, or even catapult them to their next.
That is awesome. I just want to say also hello to Veronica who's watching. I see that she's on the line. She's watching on YouTube, and I want to make it clear, folks. I'm so glad because there's some people who are not on Facebook. If you're on LinkedIn, you can watch my show on my LinkedIn page. If you're on YouTube, and today I was trying to set up my Twitter. I have a Twitter account, and I need to set it up so that you can watch it on Twitter as well. So for people who don't do Facebook, are no longer on Facebook, you can go on my YouTube, which is Bardoui Financial Services. Subscribe to that channel. I will be putting up content. I've hired a photographer to do videos for me so that I can start putting videos up. And basically, I'm about to explode this year, and I'm trying to change different things of how I'm doing it. And when I do this, I want to make sure all of you are included, because I want to make sure I educate the community, my community, people who look like me, and also everybody at large. So I want to say welcome to Veronica. So Venus, you just told us about WWW. It's a great program. The Women Health and Wellness, Wealth and Wellness. I think it's a great program, and I'm looking forward. I can't attend it because I'm a man. And but it's only for women. So you women need to start looking into it. And if you go to American Classic Agency, our agency, if you see in the back there, back of me, agency, American Classic Agency, our website, it talks a little more about www. So the reason why you're on the show tonight, ABRs. Someone asked me today, what's an ABR? And I'm like, I ain't telling you. You got to tune in the show. You got to tune in the show, bro. You got to tune in. I ain't telling you what it is. You want to know what the ABR? You got to tune in. So first of all, Venus, what is an ABR? And his Mother's Day is coming up. And why are we, you and I tonight, focusing on ABRs? What's an ABR? Since you're the ABR queen.
Great question, H. So ABR is actually called a accelerated death benefit rider. Okay, this is where you can actually pull money from your insurance policies to utilize in the event that you come down with the illness. Okay, so this is funds that's attached to your policy that, again, you can pull from. Excuse me.
It's okay. It's okay.
We currently have 6 ABRs with one moment. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Drink some water if you need to. We understand. Take your time. It's a family show. It's all right. Just take a moment. Take a moment. Take a moment. Take a moment. She'll be right back, folks. As we're waiting for Venus, we don't want her to choke. She said, I just drank my water. She's coming back. And before she starts telling you guys about ABRs, remember you guys hear me talk about income protection all the time. When I talk about income protection, it's something that you got to have. A lot of you, especially some of you, are self-employed, whether you are a daycare provider, a childcare provider, a hairdresser, a barber, you sell chicken, you have a restaurant, you have a store, you are Uber driver, you are this, you're that, you are whatever it may be. Each and every one of you need to realize that you need to have ABRs. And as we wait for Venus to come back, we're sorry, she sounded like she was choking there. I hope she's okay by God's grace. And if she's not there, I will take over and do it, because we are all right. Here she comes. But are you okay?
I'm back. Sorry, I just swallowed down the wrong pipe.
You swallowed the wrong pipe. You got some water with you so you make sure you can clear your throat? All right. All right. I want to make sure. So we don't have to mention any carriers, but we were just talking about ABRs, or we were talking about, accelerated. You said it stands for, I don't even know what that. What did you say? Accelerated. What did you say it stands for?
Accelerated benefit rider.
Accelerated benefit riders. And I didn't know that. Oh, my shame on me. I should have known that. I'm talking about, living benefits all the time. So how does it work? You just said to me a second ago, you were telling everybody that accelerated, it's something you can access in your insurance policy while you are alive. And a lot of people are scared to talk about these things because they're thinking about death. We're talking about, take your time. We're talking about love. Mm-hmm. All right. I was talking to someone the other day and I said to them, I told a person, what if you have a catastrophic illness? They go, well, I got short-term and long-term disability. I say, yeah, for what? 3 months, 90 days, 6 months, and then you can't go back to work. What you going to do? You're going to apply for disability to the government? That could take 24 months. What are you going to do? How are you going to pay your bills? If you have a critical and chronic illness, critical or chronic injury, those ABRs come in. So tell us a little bit more about how the ABR works, because I think you got certified in ABRs last year because you're a big shot.
I did. So first, let me just share with you guys, and again, my apologies. I swallowed down the wrong pipe.
It's okay.
But many of us at some point will need assistance with care, right? And also, medical bills may come up. Also unexpected hospital stays. Typically, it's always 2 incomes in the household. Not always, but sometimes it is. And if in the event that one becomes ill, we have to think about what happens to that income, right? And so with ABRs, this is benefits that you can utilize while you are living. Okay. You do not have to die to use these benefits. Okay. So that's why they are so important to have on your policies. Another thing, as a mom, we know Mother's Day is coming up. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 5, and I have 2 bonus kids. But I want to make sure in the event that something happens to me or I become ill, that my income is one protected. Okay. That there are resources to eliminate debt. And then also in the event, you know, that I pass, that, you know, there is a legacy creation that can occur, that can transfer. So this is where ABRs come into play, and they are vitally important. Everyone should have an ABR on their policy. Now, one disclaimer I would like to share as it relates to ABRs, you do have to qualify. Okay, you do have to qualify for them. And so that's a process that happens, you know, once you go through the process of applying for a policy. And, you know, the insurance companies will look at it to make sure that you qualify to get these. But a lot of times these ABRs come free on your policy, right? But you want to make sure you look over your policy to make sure that you have these. And currently, I'm just thinking about one carrier in particular. We have about six ABRs, right? 6 ABRs that you can actually tap into in the event that you become ill. All right. And that's huge, huge, huge. And what is that saying? That is simply saying that you do not have to die to use it, right? A lot of us have insurance policies. And when we think about policies, you actually have to, you know, transition, right? Expire, or whatever you want to call it. You have to die. That's just reality in order to utilize it. And then you won't get the benefit. Your beneficiary will get the benefit, right? So it's important to have this so that you can actually use it while you're living.
So hold on. So you're saying to me, people can have ABRs and access it while they're alive. And most people, you know, a lot of people that I talk to, some of them sound very selfish. We had a colleague who's no longer with us, and she said she had a client. She went to see a client in DC, and he said the client said $1 million is too much to live for my family. And I was like, what? But well, I had to work. I had to. Excuse me. One of the things I always tell people is this. If you didn't come from money, all right, I say it on this show all the time, become the first person in your family to create generational wealth. But if you get sick, who's going to wash your clothes? Who's going to, and one thing about you women, and mostly women watch this show because you're all smarter than men. Some of the guys don't want to watch it because they think they're too cool to listen to me. A lot of y'all are going to be widows. A whole bunch of y'all, because men die before women. You see, look, I think I got a broken toe. I haven't even gone to the doctor yet. It's painful. A woman got a hangnail. She's going to the cardiologist. You know, so men transition before women. So a lot of you are going to be single. So who's going to take care of things for you if you get ill? And don't tell me your kids. I'm sick and tired of hearing about your kids. And I mean that respectfully. I'm not saying I'm sick of your kids. Your kids is not your kids' responsibility. Some of your kids are going to be married and have families, and that's their responsibility, not you. So therefore, you got to make sure if you need, you can hire someone to wash your clothes, you know, someone to do this for you, do that for you. And a lot of people take it for granted. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen if you live long enough. Everybody who I know who lives long enough needs help. Both of my parents died in nursing homes. A lot of people don't realize you're going to need help. Some people say, I'll never put my mother or my father in a home. And I respect that. But you're going to need a respite. It's going to take 2 years out of your life, 2 to 3 years out of your life if you don't get a respite from the care that you provide. So there, Miss Venus, you're talking about ABRs. And as a mother, you said if something happens to you, you want to make sure that it's acceptable and that you have funds, an emergency amount of funds. Now, for example, one of the ABRs now is called Alzheimer's, right? Do you know anybody who have Alzheimer's, Venus? Another one, you're a woman, is called fertility journey. Some women have difficulties having children. You may need some experimental drugs, you need to travel to go somewhere and do the different things that you need to do for that. Where are you going to get the money from? From your retirement money you're going to take from? I have a client right now. I talked to them this morning. 4 years ago, I created something for them 4 or 5 years ago, with ABRs. And a year later, oh man, I can't afford it, which is not true because this person is very well off. They got no debt. Cars paid for, house paid for. Last time they bought a car, they bought it cash, a maximum too. The point about it is this. That person now has a chronic illness and they have no ABRs. Now, God forbid something happened, they have enough money, but that money is supposed to go to, what does the Bible say in Proverbs? A wise man leave an inheritance for whom? His children? No, his children's children. So therefore, that's one of the reasons why as a woman, you need ABRs. So Miss Venus, tell us about a little about the Alzheimer's or fertility journey or any of the other ABRs that you want to talk about, and tell us more about it so people can understand why they need it, especially if you're single.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So again, guys, remember, ABRs are benefits that you can utilize while you are living. Okay. And I'm going to run through all 6 and I'm going to try to give you the basis of what it means, because these are some things that you need to think about, right? So the first ABR that I'm going to talk about is terminal illness. Terminal illness is when a doctor certifies you that your life expectancy is not to go beyond 24 months. And in some states, it's actually 12 months, right? So that means that they're saying it's no hope that you're actually going to pass away, right? So let's say you had a policy for $100,000. You're able to actually pull from that. You can either accelerate the whole benefit, meaning you can utilize all of it, or you can actually use a portion of it and leave a portion intact, for your services, or leave to your beneficiary. But it is totally up to you, right? So again, terminal illness is that you will not live beyond the 24-month period or the 12-month period, okay? And then some of you may have this question. So what if, because none of us are God, right? So what if that person lives beyond the certification period? And so guess what? You will not be obligated to pay that money back, okay? You will not be obligated to pay that money back. All right. And so next, I want to move to the next one, which is going to be chronic illness, right? Chronic illness is when you actually are unable to perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. Okay. And it has to be 90 consecutive days that you cannot do these 2 out of 6. And so when we say 2 out of 6, what are those? The first one is going to be bathing. Okay. We all know what bathing is, taking a bath. Continence, continence is, your bowel movement. Are you able to utilize the bathroom? Is your bowels moving properly? The next one is going to be dressing. We all know dressing. Eating, are you able to feed yourself? Okay. And then we have toileting. Toileting is, do you need a bedpan? Do you need assistance with using the bathroom? And then the next one is going to be transferring, which is actually moving from place to place. Can you get up and move to this chair or move to this area? If you are not able to perform 2 out of those 6, you are able to tap into your benefits, and that is the chronic illness ABR. Okay. And so also let me just share to that too, cognitive ability. If you have issues with your cognitive abilities, you can also, that falls in the line with this also, you can also pull from that, right? And with this ABR, you're able to actually pull a portion of the death benefit, or you can also, leave a portion intact. It is totally up to you. But again, the doctor has to certify this, and it has to be 2 out of 6. And it has to be, the situation has had to been going on or ongoing for 90 days. Okay. Also for this one, you are able to get a monthly benefit. Okay. Utilizing your, this ABR rider of 2% per month. Okay. You can pull up to 2% per month. Now you can't do both, it's either or, but it's 2% per month. And then that is a period up to 50 months. Okay, so this is a great, great, great ABR to have, because we know as we get older, it's just reality. We all, to some degree, may face one of these illnesses or elements, right? So it's very important to have that. The next one is going to be critical illness. Okay, critical illness is our next ABR. And just keep in mind this, when we utilize the critical illness benefit, the policy or that portion of the rider has to be in force for at least 30 days for you to be able to tap into it. Okay. And with that, that is also you can, this benefit, it can be, you can pull from it. It doesn't have to be the full benefit. You can get a portion of it, or you can actually do the acceleration on this one, right? And so when we talk about critical illness, I wanted to just make sure, and I wrote this down because I want to make sure I capture all of the elements for you when you're, thinking about these riders to ensure that you have on your policy. So the first one is going to be ALS, okay? If you come down with ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, you're able to pull from that, okay? And that's loss of muscle control. Aorta graft surgery, that's a replace, when the doctor has to go in and do surgery and they replace a piece of your aorta, okay? Aplastic anemia body, that is when your blood cells are not, your red and white blood cells, they're not up to par. You're not producing significant blood cells. So that's very, very important. Blindness, cancer, cystic fibrosis, that's when you have damage to your lungs or your digestive tract, your liver, your kidneys. End-stage renal failure. I see that a lot in the healthcare arena side that I'm on as well. A lot of older people are coming down with it. We also have the younger generation that is faced with this illness. Okay. If you have a heart attack, a heart valve replacement, motor neuron disease, that is when you have, don't have full control of your voluntary muscles. Okay. Major organ transplant, that's your heart, your liver, your kidneys. If you come down with any of those, you can tap into this critical illness rider, right? And so stroke, sudden cardiac arrest, you can tap into that. So it is very important that we look at what we have on our policies and see if we have these ABRs, because again, those things that I just called off, we know at some point there's a very high chance that we may come down with it.
It's so funny you said that, right? I was listening to you intently, and just before we continue, I just want to welcome to those who are tuning in late, to my beautiful sister-in-law, Miss Marcella, John Louis Sacafet, Beth Amato, my beautiful client all the way down there in Florida, Palm Coast, Joan Isles in H-Town. I think you're working tonight, but you're tuning in. The beautiful Elizabeth Bardui in New York, Brooklyn, Beulah, Sacafet, give it to me. Who else is watching? A bunch, Patricia Richards, welcome. And all the others who are watching tonight, I think I said Wincy Choice Spot and everybody else who are watching tonight. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My special guest is my business partner and colleague here, Miss Venus Senior, who's talking about ABRs, living benefits. I've been talking about that for a while. So I brought a woman just before Mother's Day to tell you all, because mostly women watch this show. There's men watching tonight, but mostly women watch. And the funny thing about it is a lot of y'all are going to be widows. And I know all the conditions that you went. I know people with lupus. I know people who've had a brain aneurysm. I know people with blindness, motor neuron disease. I know people with end-stage renal failure. Two of my sisters are breast cancer survivors. I'm telling you, one had both of her breasts removed and reconstructed. I know everybody. I know people who've been in every one of those categories in my lifetime. And what I'm saying to you is, I know people who've become quadriplegics. And obviously, we all know someone we have lost a loved one. I've lost both of my parents, my grandparent, my grandma. And the funny thing, my aunts. But let me tell you, friends, let me tell you all something. Stop playing and fooling around. This is what this client told me the other day. Not the other day, actually this morning. She says, first thing, I try to help as many people as I can. And one of the things I know, I'm not trying to impress anybody. And the problem here is, someone asked me, the other day, they said to me, I don't have a lot of money. You know what? First of all, I believe everybody needs to have $1 million. Because let me tell you, $900,000 worth of living benefits would be great. But this is the caveat, though. You can't get it when your body's broken down. You can't get it when you have all those things that we talk about. It's too late. So some of you are healthier than me. And I don't know what you're waiting for, but it's your call. It's your call. Venus tonight is going into detail. I never go into detail like that with you guys. The only way I go into detail like that is if we have an appointment. But I brought her on tonight to talk to you guys about ABRs and realize, every one of us, when I was a little child, I didn't know anybody with cancer. Excuse me. Now, I say it runs in my family now. I know people with end-stage renal failure, kidney disease. I mean, all kind of cancers. Prostate cancer, colon cancer, throat cancer, testicle cancer. I was going to crack a joke, but it's a family show. Listen to me. ABRs, living benefits, is paramount for everybody. I think we lost Venus. We lost her. And I think because she's on her phone, maybe a call came in. She'll come back in a minute. And and we can talk. Folks, there she comes. Let me add her in. There she is. Hold on. We got you in. It's okay. We understand. It's all right. But listen, Venus just told you about all critical illness, critical injury, chronic illness, chronic injury. And there's even terminal illness. I know a client who had a terminal illness. They gave him 24 months to live. I had a client. He lived 6 years. So you can accelerate that stuff as well. So, Venus, tell us this. You just pontificated to the masses about the benefits of ABRs.
Mm-hmm.
You gave an example of 100,000. I wanted to squeeze you, but I can't touch you. I would have 500,000 or $1 million. But let me make it clear, folks. If all you can do is 50 grand, do it. If all you can do is 100 grand, just do it. Sometimes you need to mix it up. Have an IUL with term, an IUL with a whole lot. I don't know what you do. Until we talk to you, we wouldn't know what to tell you. But the important thing is you need ABRs. I got ABRs. And if something happens to me very, very serious, my family have access to about $800,000, $900,000 they can take from the policy while I'm alive. Now, I'm the one that would authorize that. But the point I'm trying to make to you is simply this. It's there. And for some of you who have substantial assets, if you don't have it, I can ask you a question, and none of you watching probably know. If I ask you what's the cost of long-term care in the DMV, you don't know, in New York City, Massachusetts, San Francisco, those kind of cities, it's an arm and a leg. It ain't 100 grand. It's a lot more than that annually. So 100 grand ain't gonna cut it. And if you're making 50 grand a year and you work for 20 years, that's $1 million. So if you make 6 figures, 100 grand, 10 years of working is $1 million. So the average income in America is about $37,000 a year. The average income. All of you all watching making a lot more than that. You all are all big shots. Why don't you have it? And don't tell me if you don't qualify, I'm not talking to you. And if you don't qualify, you can still use infinite banking to overfund it with someone who's healthy. And there's other options of things. I did a training last night on annuities. We can do that too as well. But the point I'm trying to make here is you got to take advantage of this. So check this out. Venus. We got about 10 minutes left. You talked about critical illness, critical injury, chronic illness, chronic injury. You talk a little bit of terminal illness. You talk about ABRs. You give all those different motor neuron disease. You said lupus, blindness, end-stage renal failure, brain aneurysm, cancer, stroke. You're giving a whole plethora of stuff that nobody wants. But we all know somebody who got it. What encouraging words would you tell to the masses, especially women? And women don't realize why I keep picking on them is because a lot of you all are gonna be widows. It's just how, if you live long enough, men die before women. Statistically. I don't know if it's because we have more stress or we don't take care of ourselves or what, but you all take better care of yourselves. So what are you gonna do? And you don't want to go into what you have for fun because you want to have your fun. A lot of you all like to travel. I see it on social media. So Venus, what would you tell the people, especially the ladies watching and the men tonight, about what they should do? And after we tell people, some of you all are never going to do nothing with me, and that's fine. By the end of the show, we'll tell you how to contact Venus, and she'll talk to you. But tell the people why, again, it's important and why they should at least have $1 million or $500,000 or 250. Talk to them.
Yeah, so it is very, very, very important. Why? Because we want to make sure that our families are okay in the event that we come down with any of these illnesses, whether we live or whether we transition. We want to make sure that we position ourselves right. I'm gonna give you guys, I know we only have 10 minutes, but a quick story, true story. So a colleague of mine or a friend of mine's, wanted to get a policy, and I begged this individual to get a policy while they were healthy. Months later, I got a call to say, hey, I came down with this element. They were no longer in the position to qualify, right? And so they couldn't even tap into the benefit to utilize it during the most time needed where they were sick and trying to heal, So it's important. It's better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it. Okay, we want to make sure, again, that our income is protected, that we're able to leave a legacy, and that we are able to eliminate debt. You can use this money to eliminate your healthcare costs, your medical bills, or use it for whatever you want to utilize it for. Okay, and I want to equate it to having car insurance, right? You have to have car insurance to drive, but what is your return on it? What is your return? We pay for car insurance every single month, and I haven't ever had an accident, right? But with living benefits, you have a policy, something that you can tap into that you're able to pull from in the need, okay? That you come down with something. So please, if you don't do it for yourself, think about your family. Prepare. It's all about preparing and having something, in place that you can help your family, okay, or your loved ones. We call it love insurance, but I'm gonna call it love ABRs tonight because it's very important. Go back, pull out your policies, look at it, see what you have. If you don't have it or have anything, reach out to H, reach out to myself. I'm very passionate about ABRs because I know what it can do. It can help someone. It can help someone. And then heck, if you live and you go past the certification, you don't have to pay the money back. So what do you have to lose? You have a lot to gain because it's something that can help you.
I love how you say that. What you have to lose, you have nothing to gain. You know, she is spitting fire about ABRs tonight. And for those of you who've been procrastinating, you know, lollygagging, you know, pussyfooting, whatever kind of terms they call it when you're just not doing what you're supposed to do. Listen, I want to make this very clear. I want to make an appeal, just like a minister. I don't care if you do it with me. I don't care if you do it with Venus. I don't care if you do it with any of my colleagues. I don't care if you do it with another company. Well, we all would want you to do it with us. But do it. Like Nike, just do it. Stop asking me asinine questions about it. I'm not talking about intelligent questions. Like, well, I don't know. It's too no, know about it. Get it, and then ask all the questions afterwards. And let me tell you all something. You all research everything. You research cars, phones, pocketbooks, hair designs, you know, extensions, you know, nails, this, that, houses, everything. I've been talking about this forever. I'm going to continue talking about it. Someone told me once, everything you do is a commercial. Yes, until everybody got it. It's important to me. Can't you see my passion? Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? You know, for those tuning in late, like Atlin Pittman and Tabitha Green, our esteemed colleague, you know, thank you for tuning in tonight. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And if you're from Point Michelle, you call me Luca Boy. That's little boy. You know, going all the way back to the 767 YT Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustained me. Venus, there are some people who will never do anything with me, and that's okay. I don't hate them. If they want to follow you on Facebook, your name on Facebook is Venus what?
It is Venus Patient Account Detective Senior. SENIO.
I love that. I had to say that. Say it again. Say it again, please.
It is Venus. Venus like Venus and Serena, but Venus Patient Account Detective Senior.
All right. And are you also on Instagram as well?
I am on Instagram. I am on Instagram as All Aspects Medical, and that's ALLASPECTS Medical, and that is my Instagram. But you can follow me on either social media platform. I'm also on Facebook as Patient Account Detective. That's a separate page. But either way, you can PM me, DM me. Reach out to H if you want to contact me and, you know, speak with me directly. I am available.
Exactly. I'll pass you to her. You know, I'm not going to just give you guys her number. If she wants to give it out, she can. But if you contact me and you say, you know, that woman was on your show, I want to talk to her because I don't want to talk to your ugly mug. I'll be like, sure. I'm going to hit her up. I'm going to say, Venus, they don't want to talk to my ugly mug. They want to talk to your beautiful mug because you are the ABR queen and they want to know more about it. So, Venus, I want you to stay on the line. And everybody who watched tonight, I want to thank you so much, especially those on YouTube, Mr. Brinsley Charles and Miss Veronica, and anybody else, or whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on my business page, Bardui Financial Services, whether you're on my regular Facebook, Havis Bardui, and like I said on Twitter this month, I tried to put on the Twitter today, but it didn't work. I'll fix it later. I'll be on Twitter, as I think it's HTB964. You know, it doesn't stream onto Instagram, but I am going to be talking about this more and more and more and more. And listen to me. You don't have to be a star. You don't have to have $1 million. All of you need to protect your income with income protection. Some of you need to eliminate your debt with debt elimination. And some of you, a lot of you, almost all of you need legacy creation for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that has his own. So Venus, I want you to stay there for 1 second. Mute yourself for me for a moment while we play our closing theme song. Everybody, I want you to like. I want you to share. I want you to follow. That's what we do. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bardui Financial Services. On Facebook, it's Havis Bardui, or my business page, Bardui Financial Services. Any of this stuff, you can do it. You can do it. Listen to me very carefully, folks. Very, very carefully. Very, very, very carefully. You don't have to be a star to be on my show. God bless you. Have a good night. Like and share. Miss Maynard Thomas, Jala Pointe, my baby sister. She's singing, you don't have to be a star to be on my show. I love you. Thank you for the support. Everybody who supported me over the years. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Boom!
Family, come as you are with just your heart, and I'll help you win. Are you rejected or hurt? Send me your word, much more than you put in. Now I don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You don't have to be rich family to be on my show. You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
Boom! I'm so glad you could tune in tonight. Marcella, I'm glad you tuned in and don't watch the Celtics, because every time we watch, they lose. Let me take a peek. The game is on. Have a good night. God bless you. I love each and every one of you. Until next Tuesday, when we talk on Tuesdays with Terrence, God bless you. Have a good night. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your likes, for your shares, and subscribing and following. I love you. Bye-bye. Peace.